I'm editing a number of the joints and appendages for my walk cycle animation, and I'm running into kind of a workflow problem. I need to go in and adjust the rotation of some very specific joints, but I don't want the rotation of one object to wildly change the pose of the rest of my character. Here's a really great example. I want to go in and change the pose of this to something more like this. I like that up there. The thigh is in a really good spot, but I want to make this angle in here a little bit more sharp. It's a little too flat for me, and I'm not getting the sense of energy that I'm after. I don't want to have to rotate it like this. Okay, I can go in, I can select all these parts, but if I rotate it like this, then I have to grab it, move it around. It'd be nice to have a little bit more of a fluid system in here that will give me some accuracy and control over how all these parts and pieces are rotating together. And let me show you what this looks like. There's a really great way for us to rotate around defined locations inside of our animation, and it involves using what's called the 3D cursor. The 3D cursor can be found over in our toolbar, and it's this guy right there. And I apologize, let me see if I can get it out of the way. It's that guy right there. It's the one that looks kind of like a little target. The 3D cursor is a fantastic tool because it defines the area of rotation or the location of rotation if we change our tools. Now, the first thing that we need to do in order to get this to work, let me zoom in here a little bit, is as a reminder, I want to have my rotation happen right here in the center of this X. Right now, if I were to hit the rotate tool, hit the R key, that dotted line represents where the location of rotation is taking place. It's in the middle of the calf, which is not what I want. I want it to be way up here at the middle of the knee. So let's grab the 3D cursor tool and click where we want the computer to rotate our objects. That's step number one. If we were to fire off the rotate tool, the R command, we're still getting the same results. So we haven't really changed anything yet. There's one additional change that we need to make to our scene, and I apologize, it is very small, and you'll have to examine your screen a little bit more directly, and it's this button right up here at the top. This button at the top of our viewport is going to change the location our tool handles and our rotation tools are going to be evaluated from. If we go in here, we have a whole bunch of options. The default, if I remember correctly, is bounding box center, which is going to take a look at the total selected strokes and figure out, it's going to draw a box around whatever's selected and put the location of rotation in the center of that box. However, if we look at the options, there's one that's called 3D cursor. And this is going to use the current location of the 3D cursor to define where this object is going to rotate from. Since I have the cursor in the center of my knee, I can hit the R key and voila, now I can rotate it a little bit easier, which is pretty neat. So having that cursor in here is a really great tool because I can very quickly go in and make some sweeping changes. Like for example, I think I need to change the location of my character here. It's way too far back. I'm going to grab him, move him along the X, somewhere right around there. Yeah, there we go. Now check it out. Look how fast I can edit my armature using the 3D cursor as a tool. And put my 3D cursor kind of right in the center of that knee. Now I can go back to my box selection tool, grab that shape. I still have my rotation set to 3D cursor, so when I rotate it, I can put it right where I need to be. And perhaps I need to do the same for the other parts of my body. I can put my cursor back up here at the hip, grab all these parts and pieces, grab them, move them forward so they're kind of right back where they need to be. And now do I need to do any additional rotation? I don't think so. I think that's pretty good. But I could rotate around that hip if I wanted to. I could very quickly change the location to maybe I want my cursor to be down over here and I can rotate from that area. So it acts like an interactive hinge, if you will, inside of our drawings. And it's a great, easy way of controlling your rotations. It makes editing and crafting armatures and these complex movements very fast, very efficient, and very accurate.